I've sifted through my change management library to find my top 10 change management book recommendations, which I'm going to share with you in this video. And why not share your own recommendations in the comments below? I've put together my top 10 list of change management books. Please do share yours in the comments below. And I've also added links to all the books in this video in the description. Number 1, Leading Change. I have to start with the daddy of change management books, Leading Change by John Kotter. This book introduced us to Kotter's 8-step change management process, which is now widely known. It's an important process, and this book has stood the test of time, even though it's been updated a number of times. The version that you can buy today is somewhat updated from my old version. I should also, by the way, give a special mention to the companion book to Leading Change, which was called The Heart of Change, which John Kotter co-wrote with my former Deloitte colleague, Dan Cohen. Unfortunately, someone borrowed my copy, so this is not it. I'd also like to give a shout out to a rather charming book that John Kotter wrote with Helga Rothgeber. This is called Our Iceberg is Melting, and it takes something from the style of the 1 Minute Manager books, although I think this is a lot more readable. It turns the change management process into a story. It's very compelling and it's very easy to understand, so I do recommend all 3 of these books. Number 2, Real Change Leaders. This book by John Katzenbach and the McKinsey Real Change team is an excellent study of engaging an organisation and the leadership of that organisation in change. It takes a very much strategic focus, but if you're serious about leading change in a big organisation in particular, this is a rewarding read. Number 3, Change Masters. The third of my classic change management books is The Change Masters by Rosabeth Moss Kanter. This is a case study book with loads of important lessons to learn. Some of its big American corporation flavour does feel a little dated today, but I still think there are important insights for serious change managers. Again, it's a big read, but a worthwhile one if you are serious about moving into or taking on a change management role. Number 4, Switch. How to change things when change is hard. Chip and Dan Heath write really well, and they are particularly good at finding interesting stories from the world which they can generalise into important and useful principles. You will love Switch. It's easy to read. You can read it as a general non-fiction book. It doesn't feel like work. And it also draws on a lot of books in that general business management arena that you may recognise, or if you don't recognise, you can really get value from the ideas that is in them. Switch by Chip and Dan Heath is an excellent book. Number 5, Change Anything. Another book that I absolutely love is Change Anything by Kerry Patterson, Joseph Grenny and their collaborators. And this group of management specialists have written a number of books. I own and have read all of them, and I love them all. These people are excellent at what they do, and they have found a way to write about it in a very compelling manner. This book is more focused on personal changes than the other books in this list, with the possible exception of the next one. But let's not forget that all change comes down to changing people and the way they behave and the way they think and the culture that they create around themselves. Number 6, Managing Transitions. William Bridges' Managing Transitions is a classic work on the way that people respond to change. And this is a very old copy. The latest ones are much newer and have been updated successively. This uses a 3-step model for the way that we change. We go through a transition, and that model is based to a large degree on Kurt Lewin's model of 3 freeze phases. However, what Bridges does is he takes this a long way further, explaining how we can use our understanding of the 3-step model that he creates to help people to go through the transitions in the workplace or in their lives. As a result, this book is important reading for anybody who needs to facilitate, lead or manage change or transformation in an organisation. Number 7, the influence agenda. If you want to align your stakeholders in times of change, then frankly, there is no better book than my book, The Influence Agenda. In this book, I draw upon a wide range of insights from the social sciences, from psychology, from neuroscience, from nudge theory, and from marketing to give you a wide range of ideas, tools, techniques, templates, and methods to help you to engage and align your stakeholders. So, my 7th pick is The Influence Agenda, a systematic approach to aligning stakeholders in times of change. Number 8, Beyond the Wall of Resistance. I was fortunate enough back in the 1990s to attend a fabulous seminar with Rick Maurer, who talked about the way to deal with resistance to change. And at the end of that seminar, I got this book, Beyond the Wall of Resistance. This is possibly the most influential book in my own thinking about change management and dealing with resistance. Maurer is a real expert in this area, and this book is fantastic. It doesn't just talk about resistance, it talks about why people resist, how to deal with it, and how that fits in a wider context of change. It's been influential in my own book, The Influence Agenda, and in my own model for how people resist change and how we deal with it. But go back to the source. Beyond the Wall of Resistance is simply fabulous. Number 9, Changing Minds. Howard Gardner is another favourite author of mine, and his book, Changing Minds, is a great companion to Rick Maurer's Beyond the Wall of Resistance. This goes deep into the psychology of how to change people's minds, which of course is relevant when they resist change. This takes a case study approach from a real academic psychologist who can pick apart what's going on. There's lots of examples from different walks of life, everything from politics and social science to business and enterprise contexts. If you want to go deep into the psychology of how to change people's minds, take a look at Changing Minds by Howard Gardner. And number 10, The Transformation Leader's Body of Knowledge. I'll end with the newest book in my list. This is the phenomenal Transformation Leader's Body of Knowledge, first edition. This whole body of knowledge, this fat volume of, well over 600 pages, all comes from the work of one man, Tony Lockwood. And this is a fabulous source book. And yes, I know that strictly speaking, transformation and change, transformation leadership and change management or change leadership are different things. But this source book contains so much knowledge that is of value not just to transformation leaders, but also to change managers and project professionals, that I would say this is a must reference book to have in the library of every project professional, every change manager, and every transformation leader. The Transformation Leader's Body of Knowledge will provide you with enough tools, techniques, models, methods, insights to more than justify the cost of this book, regardless of whether you need it only for its change management content or its project management content or its whole transformation leadership content. It will more than repay the price you pay and the time you take to study it. If you are serious about managing any change, any transformation, or perhaps even a project, then this is a book that is well worth getting. So, that's my top 10 change management books. There are links to all of them in the description. But what are your top 10 change management books? Or what are your favourites? Tell us about them in the comments. That way we can all increase the size of our change management libraries and learn from other people's insights. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be making loads more great project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of them. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.